Hello ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Good to have you back. Here's another video from Mr. Michael's channel for extraordinary young people. Today we are focusing upon the O-Level English Language exam as per usual, focusing upon the summary task, and the topic of today's summary task is coconuts. This is the first video of two focusing upon the coconuts text. Here are your learning objectives for today's session. The first thing that we're going to do, as per usual, is review some vocabulary. We are doing that because it would be helpful for you when you start reading the text. Then we're going to ask ourselves, what do you know about coconuts? That will be helpful because it will help us to think about the topic of coconuts and prepare ourselves for the forthcoming text. The third thing that we're going to do is the key part of this session, to distinguish between key points and examples in the text. You'll find out why that's important a little bit later on. And number 4, finally, you will find some key points in the first half of the text as a way of practicing for your exam. Now, my students watching this video will be very familiar with this list here. This is called a vocabulary journal, and what I have done is I have taken 10 challenging words from the coconut text, and I have given that to my students in advance. That means that they now know the meaning of each of these words because they've written them down in their books, they've written down synonyms, they've written down definitions, etc., etc. If you do not know the meaning of those words, it might be an idea for you now to pause the video and go and look up these words either in a dictionary or on Google to make sure that you understand what they mean, because all of these words, which are quite difficult, will feature in the coconut text that we're going to look at later in this video and in the next video. So it might be an idea for you to go and do that now. Off you go on. And if you have already done that, then you should now be able to do this retrieval practice starter activity. Remember, the best thing that you can do here is use your memory. Don't go and look them up in your book. Don't go and look them up in the dictionary. We're trying to find them in our minds for the sake of retrieval. The first word is unprecedented. The second word is ecological, and the third word is agile, which is from the word family of agility. I'll give you a minute or so to do that. Pause your video, please. Have you done that? I hope so. The first word is unprecedented. Now, even if you didn't know the meaning of the word, you would be able to see the prefix at the beginning, un. So if someone is unhappy, it means they're not happy. Unprecedented means there is no precedent for this thing, which means that it has never happened before, or it's never been known before, something completely and utterly new. For example, the situation we are facing is unprecedented. The second word is ecological, and the word ecological is something connected to living things and the environment. So therefore, the word ecological is often used in close connection to environmental studies. And the third word is agile, which, as I mentioned, is from the word family of agility. The word agile is an adjective, and it means to be able to move quickly and easily. A synonym for the word agile is nimble. Right, let's move on to some questions about coconuts. Remember, the reason we are asking these questions is because coconuts are the topic of the text that we are going to study later in this video. So you need to shout at the screen, true or false. That will be fun. The first question, coconuts contain on average less sugar than many other fruits. Pause the video, have a think. Have you done that? Shout your answer, please. Are you shouting true? Are you shouting false? If you are shouting true, then you are correct, because according to the glycemic index, coconuts on average have a slightly lower concentration of sugar than other popular fruits. Interesting, huh? Second word said, coconuts are used in many cosmetic items. Pause the video, have a think. Are you shouting true? Are you shouting false? If you are shouting false, you're incorrect. The answer is true. You're probably aware that we can find coconut oil in moisturizers, in hair conditioners, and in other cosmetic products. And the last question, which country produces the most coconuts in the world? Have a think about it. Pause the video. Have you done that? Okay, the answer is Indonesia. Did you know that? Indonesia, closely followed by India. These are two of the biggest coconut producing nations in the world. Okay, so here is the text. Okay, this is a text called, surprise, surprise, Coconuts, and it is taken from the May-June O-Level English Language exam last year in 2020. I would like you now just to take a minute to pause the video and read through the text on your screen. I must inform you that that is only the first 3 paragraphs of a 6-paragraph text. Have a read now, please. Now, have you read it? I hope so. As you're probably aware, the text in the summary task, paper 2, Task 2 is always non-fiction. And you can see there the words in green that I've highlighted in green are taken from the vocabulary journal that I provided you with at the beginning of this video. Okay, let's move on. Now, the first thing that you have to do in the summary task is you have to identify key points, key content points. And as it says there on the screen, you do not need to use your own words when you take them from the text. And there are 12 marks available for content points. Now, what content points are we looking for in this text? Well, if you look there at the bottom of the screen, it says how coconut trees and coconuts are used. How coconut trees and coconuts are used. And the examiner gives you one example for free, but you don't get a mark for that. So your task would be to look at this text and to find as many ways that coconuts and coconut trees are used. And you would write those down in your notes. Now, let's look at the difference between key points and examples. This is very, very, very important. Remember that we're looking for how coconuts and coconut trees are used, and this is a sentence from the text. Now, I would like you to pause the video, and I would like you to find one way that coconuts and coconut trees are used in this sentence. Do that now, please. Did you do it? I hope so. Okay, let's have a look. Now, one way that coconuts and coconut trees are used is in the beauty industry. I mean, it's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? The question says how coconuts and coconut trees are used, and the text says coconuts are used in the beauty industry. But as you can see in that sentence, there's a lot more information, all of this stuff up here. Now, what if you were to write down, well, coconut oil is added to shower gels and shampoos? Would that be correct or would that be incorrect? That would be incorrect because that's an example of how coconuts are used in the beauty industry. Therefore, the correct answer would be used in the beauty industry, and the rest of the information in that sentence is an example. So if we were to write down coconuts are used in shampoos and gels, that would be incorrect. If we were to write down coconuts are used in skincare products, that would also be incorrect. But if we were to write down coconuts are used in the beauty industry, that would be correct because we are interested in key points, not examples. Let me say that again, because we are interested in key points, not examples. Let's have a look at another example. Here is a sentence from the text. Can you please tell me another use of coconuts or coconut trees from this sentence? Pause the video now, please. Have you done that? So how are coconuts used? Well, it says there, okay, there is a long tradition in coconut producing countries of using them to make food. That's the key point. And then afterwards it says, for example, coconut oil is used for frying and making margarine, while desiccated coconut or coconut milk is added to curries, etc., etc. What if we said, we wrote in the exam, coconut oil is used for making margarine? That would be incorrect because that's an example. How do we know it's an example? Right? It says just in front of it, for example. We are not looking for examples. We are looking for key points. And therefore, you see that in the exam, they gave us that one. Coconuts are used to make food. So again, we are interested in key points, not examples. That's very, very important. And you also need to remember that there's no need to paraphrase yet. The word paraphrase means to write sentences in your own words. You don't have to do that for this part of the summary task. So there you go. Now it's your turn. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you're my student, you will have a copy of the text already. If you're not, then you can go back to the screen before and screenshot it and have a look there. I want you to read through the text that was provided, and I want you to find 8 key points in total. 8 key points from the text. And remember, do not write down examples. Only write down key points. Good luck. And once you've done that, in a future video, I will provide the answer scheme to make sure that you can check whether you've got it right or wrong. Okay, ladies and gents? Great. Let's move on to our last task, which is our plenary. Can you please tell me 3 uses for coconuts from the passage? Can you tell me 2 pieces of advice when writing key points? And can you tell me 1 synonym for the word unprecedented? Please write those down in your books. Thank you for your time, ladies and gents, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Take it easy.